You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant.
And we are back once again. Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. Welcome to Truly Unruly, your favorite non-award-winning podcast. Trufant, how are you guys doing?
Doing well, my brother. Doing well. How about yourself?
Been doing all right, man. Doing all right. It's been nice and warm here in the desert. Heard it's bone-ass cold up there in the Tizown.
Why do you like to throw that in our face, Kel?
Little rain.
We know it's warm over there. We know.
Everything been good though? Kids good? Family good?
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Nice.
They're alive.
Well, today we got an interesting episode because we're going to talk about the love word, you guys. We're going to talk about brutal truths about love that can only be learned the hard way. So
this could get good. Okay.
It can. Here's the first one. The way you treat people is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like,
if you treat people like shit,
then it comes back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Karma, all that kind of stuff.
I agree with that. 100%. The energy you put out
is the energy that gets or gives right back to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't think that happens. Like, oh man, I'm still doing this. You're probably dead inside, actually. So yes, if you treat people like shit, you are shit.
Facts.
You're gonna fulfill that shit.
I mean, we've all known that like friend or just associate or just person that we might have met that has always been in just shitty relationships and just never can just catch a break. But then you like, as a person, you're kind of like, well, you're kind of a piece of shit. So, I mean, you're going to attract fucking shit, friend. You know? Yeah. So,
yep.
I know quite a few people like that. I know a few people that have been fucking married like more than like 2 or 3 times. And they're like, I just can't. And I'm like, well, fuck, you're a fucking asshole.
Right.
That's why you're none of your marriages, plural, have fucking worked.
Or maybe it's like we said, you have multiple loves in your throughout your lifetime. And so it just so happens that they had a legally binding piece of paper attached with each one of them.
I don't know about that.
I think it's more just unwilling to sacrifice or give up self things that they
well then want, you know right? What, be by your goddamn, realize it
sometimes that's
and
what
be okay with being alone.
Sometimes that's what it has to be. If
Facts.
You're not willing to sacrifice being, you know, a 90%er or 95, things have to be in your favor in order for you to feel good about a situation. That's tough for a partner to have to deal with on a regular basis. As I made eye contact with you and look into your soul.
I can't stand you.
I mean, I feel like if you've been married more than fucking 3 times or 3 times or more, at that point, it ain't them. That's something in you that needs to get fucking figured out.
Marriage just isn't for you at that point.
Right?
You never know. And you never know. And you know I'm the guy that's glass half full. You never know.
You never know. Like when you're 80, 90, you might find that companion
that is true.
Finally.
That's true.
Right?
I know you're making a joke, but that could be true.
I don't know, man. Like when you're a serial marriage person where you're just constantly getting married and divorced and like that's like a person that like cannot be alone. Like we all this is another thing. We all know that person that's just always been in a relationship. Like all the time. And like when they're single, like they can't fucking handle life. Were you like that, Jess?
Okay, in my defense, I have been in relationships since I was 14. But yeah, no, I wasn't a dater. I didn't do shit like that. But I was not uncomfortable with being alone. It was just the next thing came along and, well, there we go.
Because society told you or told women or even a religion told you, right, to that you had to commit yourself to
be
person,
a subservient housewife.
Right.
Right. That's what we already talked about this.
Fred.
We're groomed.
What's the show
to
we watch?
Oh, you gotta find
The
a
Handmaid's
mate.
Tale, right?
Right.
Yeah,
We're not meant to be alone. Literally, it's kind of like that. We're not meant to be alone. We're meant to just
Men are different though.
produce kids and shit.
I was different.
Which they're really trying to hold us to that right now.
Single life was
This is the Handmaid's Tale in the making, Supreme Court.
parties and champagne for most men, and not all, because there is some men that really enjoy and crave the relationship side of things, but a lot of men they love the carefree life, the road of least resistance.
Right.
When you get in a love type of relationship, you have to button up and make conscious decisions, and it's can be, climbing uphill in the mud at times.
Right.
Because it's not natural for everybody.
It isn't natural, but remember our conversation about statistic wise, men get more satisfaction out of marriage than women.
Right. And this wasn't a conversation. This was almost an argument, right? Between me and you.
It was a conversation.
We had this conversation. Where were we at? And
Kel, what do you think about that?
At Disney
Anybody?
World, or were we at Disneyland? And this was just a late night conversation we were having. Jess drops this bomb on me that men get more.
You guys are more satisfied in marriage.
More satisfied in marriage than women are. And
why is that?
Yeah. And this was late night, and I woke up and was like, what?
Why is that? Don't you guys get more satisfaction in general?
Break it down. Just go ahead and break it down, because she had to break it down for me. I had to Google and do all this stuff.
No, because it's true.
Pretty deep. I was hot, but then I came back around. So, Jess, the floor is yours. So.
Well, I don't quite remember all that I said because we had been drinking.
Very true.
But it is a statistic, and I honestly believe it, that men do get more satisfaction out of marriage than women. Women, we're kind of like cats almost. We can be by ourselves. We're independent. We're the mothers. We're this. We do all this. We have to work and take care of the kids and take care of the house is there satisfaction in that? Like complete satisfaction? Probably fucking not. And you have the men that just pump some sperm in you and sit back and kind of just watch that fester. And hey, these are real statistics, and men really do need companions. They really, really do want companions. And women don't necessarily, we all want companions, but I think women can take it or leave it, and men need companions in a sexual way.
Companions, not commitment, for all my fellas out there that's watching this show. There is a difference.
Well, we're talking about being married too.
I know.
And you guys, we are your emotional sounding boards. We're all of these things. And so men just tend to get more satisfaction out of marriage. I don't know. Don't ask me. Fucking look it up.
And that's what I had to do. And then I looked up some stats, and what Miss Jessica Trufant is saying was true. Like, from the facts I looked at, I didn't like it, but it started to make sense.
Yeah, it's probably right, but all I'm gonna say this at the end of the day, remember, because I'm that end of the day ass nigga, is that y'all want to get married, and we're the ones that decide if we want to marry you.
That's what I said.
You're right.
That women are groomed to want to be married, but then after.
But you guys are really the ones that need it.
That's true, and they said
you guys are really the ones that need it. We don't need it.
It's thing that I Googled,
we've been like,
it said after 50, I believe, after 50 years old, or after a certain age, men get more out of marriage than a woman does.
It didn't say at 50.
I don't know what it was, but it was at a certain age. It may appear that, okay, the women and the girls, they play with Barbies early as family, and you're taught to do all this stuff.
Right.
But it's really,
we are groomed. And when we really get into it, we're like, fuck. And guys are like, fuck marriage. But then when they really get into it, they're like, God, yeah.
I need this.
I've
been waiting for this.
This woman, I'm so happy. And so.
And that's when y'all run off and be like, shit, I hate y'all and all that. Yeah.
Hey, side note.
Stella got her groove back.
Do you guys ever have moments where you think about your single life and like miss your single life? Does that ever cross your mind? Like ever?
Does it ever cross your mind? Here we go. Single.
I don't.
You a lie.
No. I think about like if I was single now and how tough that would be. I do think about that because I still have friends. I got family that's still kind of out here trying to find love or trying to find a situation, right? And I'm like, man, it's to be there now with, the social media and catfish and swipe left and all that. It's tough out here. I don't know how you do it.
Right.
So I do think about that.
And me, I'm like, what that single life be like?
Oh, that's fair.
Just kidding. It was going back to men get more satisfaction.
We can show you. We can show you.
No, I don't really think about the single life because I wasn't really single that often.
Not true.
What? Okay.
Were you single when you met Marcus, or were you seeing somebody?
Well, I was technically not seeing somebody, but I was talking to somebody. I was trying to get rid of somebody, as a matter of fact.
And I kind of
swooped her up.
So, yeah.
I see.
What,
okay.
Why are you smiling?
I'm not. I'm looking into the camera.
Because you definitely were. Okay, go ahead.
I definitely weren't, or I definitely was.
I was going to say you. Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
I was single, but maybe involved is a better term.
You were single and definitely mingling. All right, go ahead.
Okay, next one. The cure to loneliness is not being loved. It is loving. Do I need to emphasize on it a little more?
Yes,
I mean,
a little bit. Yeah. Give me a little bit more for that one.
I guess you can say, I guess that's up for interpretation. I don't know, because maybe that does cure your loneliness by going out and just giving love and spreading and doing all this kind of stuff and giving of yourself. And maybe you don't feel lonely. But for some people, maybe they need that to be loved in order to not feel alone. Right? I'm not.
Yeah. I think it's just finding that person that whose energy just matches what you're looking for. And it can love. And I do agree with that, because you put yourself in a position to be loved back, right? If you're kind of closed off and you're not really open to the conversation or open to a situation, the numbers go down, right? Because people are going to be turned off by that. But if you are open, then you give yourself a chance.
Okay, what was the question? Because I'm not sure. Were we on two different? Because the
cure to loneliness is not being loved. It is loving. So nobody is on their way to save you from your emptiness.
Loving somebody loves you back. Okay, enough questions. So the cure to loneliness is loving somebody else.
Or it's just being loving in general. I think
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Just being loving.
Putting out love.
Right, yeah. Putting it out there. Putting out good vibes. Putting out good juju. Yeah, people are attracted to that.
Cats.
People are attracted to that. Yes,
but that's what. Yeah, so that could happen.
Yeah, so I agree, Kale. I do agree with that. Yes, I don't know if that's right, but
sorry, I don't know.
Personally, yes, I agree with that.
Oh, it makes total sense. It's like we said in the very first one, you got to put it out there to get it back, right? And it said on here, it said nobody's on their way to save you from your own emptiness, right? So the first step to having love in your life is to give it out as much as you possibly can, as often as you possibly can. You have to invest in love before you can withdraw it.
Well, I think that in order to, get the most out of love, you have to be open to receive it and all that kind of stuff. No, you have to love yourself first and foremost. I think when you love yourself, it's easier to receive love. It's easier to give love.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Or find somebody that's patient enough.
Well, when you love yourself, you're not going to settle for no fuck shit, right? You're going to say,
real.
I'm better than that. I love myself. I don't need to put up with this shit. I don't,
That too, but I'm saying on the opposite side, for somebody that's with somebody that might not love themselves, right? And they're kind of in a weird space. But if somebody sees that diamond in the rough and they be like, okay, I'm gonna coach you through this and we're gonna get through this together.
I'm gonna coach you through this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see you.
Right, I see.
And you may
right.
not see yourself, but I see you.
Right.
So it works
that
on
can
both sides.
happen.
Yeah, it can. I agree.
That can happen.
I see you glass half full for once. I see you.
The next one is chasing people who don't love you properly says more about you than it does about them.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Yep. Yeah. When you don't love yourself and you're chasing these, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks more to your character, which is unfortunate, but
I think there's...
Okay, come on.
No. Because just what I said. I said there's some people that are willing to deal with certain things because they see through the BS, right? There's issues there. There's situations that come up. I wasn't the perfect guy to marry from the beginning, right? But you saw something in me though, right?
Yeah, well, but you were like genuinely you weren't all fucked up. I mean, you was fucked up.
But that's what I'm saying though. That's my point. So there's a window there that where you can work through some of these.
But there's a window.
There is a window.
There's a window.
It's not forever. I agree. There is a window to where you can get coached through this or learn through this or.
Quit saying somebody's getting coached through some shit.
That's what I know.
You're not coaching somebody.
You are coaching.
Like what? Some fucking drills and shit. Like what?
Pretty
some
much.
Love drills.
Yeah.
I don't like. Okay.
Yeah. Through communication and yeah.
Let's go back to the playbook.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Damn.
Chapter 2, verse 3 of the playbook of love. This is what we need to do. If you don't do it, I'm gone. If you do it, then I'm willing to work with you, right? Trial by error.
Okay, Kel.
All right. Someone can love you immensely and still be wrong and even toxic to you.
No, that's not love then. What does that mean?
So they're saying sometimes your needs just don't line up with someone else's, and the love they want to give you is actually the exact kind of love that would hold you back. That doesn't mean their love is absent. It just means you're better off apart from one another.
Okay, yeah. I agree that does happen. That person needs a different type of love, even though their partner just loves them to death. It is just not what they need at the time, maybe, right? Somebody?
Literally could be love them to death, though, just like the shows we watch at night.
Like Elmira, the pet.
Snapped.
I love you and squeeze you and
Right,
hold
yeah,
you
but
and smothering.
The right type of love, and you don't know what you don't know. If you're in love with this person and you haven't experienced a bunch of other experiences in your environment from growing up, et cetera, and this is what you think love looks like, being degraded and talk to a certain way, but I still love you at the end of the day, babe. But this is what you made me do, a type of situation. And not a good look, but they don't know if they've never been in a different type of situation.
Okay. Yes. But I was thinking more along the lines of, I love you so much. I love you. I'm doing, but it's just not quite what you need. Right? Like, I love you to death. I'm doing all these things that I think you should because I love you, but it's not quite what you want, what you need. And it doesn't work.
Right. It's like, think about it like this. It's like, I would look at it as not meeting someone's love language, right? So there's a person that they rather just have affirmations and just you spend time with them, but all you rather do is just spend a whole bunch of money on them. And they're like, well, I don't care for that. I just want you to spend time with me. I know you love me because you do all these nice things, but like, I just want to spend time and get positive affirmation.
And that's the coaching I'm talking about. That's the coaching I'm talking about right there, Kel. The communication, coaching, however you want to say it, but love and a relationship is a dance. It's a give and take type of thing.
My God.
You kind of got to flow together as you do this.
Not only are we on the playbook, but we're also
right.
We're also doing salsa.
And that was the merengue.
The merengue. Oh, excuse me.
And not salsa, so don't
and not the
confuse
cumbia.
it,
we're doing merengue. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, though. The communication and telling your person that you want to further your love with what you want and what you need. That's coaching. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yes. So I guess I could say you got a lot of coaching.
I have.
Yeah.
And I wasn't one for taking coaching.
He's not very coachable.
Early on, though. Early on. Now
I don't know how he made it for 10 years in the NFL.
Very
Because if he does the same thing he does here.
On the show?
No. In our marriage.
What do you mean?
You just don't like criticism or anything like that.
Oh.
I don't know how he made it.
I'm coachable. Or we wouldn't be here if I wasn't coachable.
Oh, so now we wouldn't be here if you weren't. You're right, because I would have been tapped out.
Exactly. So less, coachable, learning, communication, however you want to say it. It has to be there.
Right. A coachable person too, I mean, is going to want their coach to talk to them and not at them. And
you know what? It's all personal. I can't make him do anything that he does not want to do. Like you said, I can coach you. I can give you suggestions. I can tell you my wants and my needs, but it is up to him to make those changes and apply those critiques I give to him.
I got to take self out, right? I may not like the coaching. I may not like the delivery. I may not like what's being said, but I need to listen to what my decisions and my actions are causing my partner, right? That's really what it comes down to. I know.
Selfless.
I know. I know. So
see. Mm-hmm.
Love doesn't conquer or even withstand everything. I believe that because that was my parents' marriage. Because as soon as my dad fucked up, my mom was like, nope, sorry, goodbye.
Okay, well then, was that love? That's the thing. That's where it's so like, was it love? If you're so quick to, and not saying your mom, Kel, but like in other relationships, like when you're not willing to put in any more effort or whatever, is it still love?
There's got to be healthy boundaries too, though. So I think it's pretty gray there, right? Does love conquer everything? Maybe.
When you were in love.
I know, but maybe not, though. But if certain things creep in or certain situations step in, that person is to be like, okay, that's not love for me. That doesn't work for me. So I don't want to put up with that. I'm uncomfortable now.
Shit.
Right?
Sorry.
And maybe you could work towards it or work with it for a time period, but sometimes, enough's enough.
I just think there's too much emphasis on love. It wouldn't even be love conquers all.
What would
like
you
you
say,
said,
then?
Does it? I don't even
loyalty or commitment.
I don't even know if I would call it love.
What is it?
I'm
Is
not
it
quite
commitment?
sure what it is.
Is it commitment or is it?
I think it's a commitment. I think it's being in tune, being like you said, you have to want these things.
But when things happen,
So when things do happen, which could terminate your. How? I want to know. When you love somebody, when you truly love somebody, and they fuck up, maybe you're right. Maybe love doesn't conquer all, because maybe you do love that person to death, but because of what has transpired, I don't know.
People are
that
human.
You just
Everybody
can't
right.
stay because you love yourself more.
And that's okay. That's fine.
So maybe you're right. Love doesn't conquer all. It doesn't, because if
not all the time, not all the time. And don't point the gun at me. I saw the gun come out, so don't. Please.
Because, love might go out the window.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, though, it's like you love somebody so much, but they continuously just keep hurting you over and over and over again. You're going to get to a point where it's like, listen, I love you so much, but obviously, like, you're not even trying to change. I can't stay here for this because now it's hurting me.
Right.
And it's fucking my shit up now and my head, Right. So it's like you got to essentially protect yourself.
You have to protect yourself.
And people in relationships sometimes don't agree that taking care of self makes you selfish. I don't agree with that. Everyone needs to take care of self, or they can't be good for that other person. You can't be
good. No, you ain't shit if you don't take care of you. You can't be shit for anybody else if you're not shit yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think love conquered? You said no. Why, Kel?
Because I just, in my life experiences and just seeing folks in relationships, and like I said, watching like my parents and stuff like that, like, nah, man, like you said, like you got to protect yourself. And that's like what my mom did. My dad made a bad mistake. He got locked up, and my mom was like, yo, you're about to be cooked for the next God knows how many years. I'm not staying here for that. I got to raise these 4 kids now.
Right.
And I got to protect my children.
Right. Yeah.
First and foremost. So I got to protect myself and my children. So no, I don't think love conquers all. I think, and this might sound really fucked up, but I think sometimes people give the word love way too much juice. And just way too much credit. We've just made it way deeper than what it is. And it's so funny because don't nobody love on the fucking level, and the pressure that we put on people to love, that shit, nobody really follows that shit, right? It's not really what I don't know. It's not really what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of weight. Like you said, it's the movies, and it's this, and it's love needs to look like this, and it has to be this way, and it has to be that way. Too much pressure.
It's to each individual
and
situation.
Everybody's crumbling.
Each individual couple, what that love looks like for them and how it works for them. Nobody's love is going to look like nobody else's. You shouldn't compare. You shouldn't try to, I saw that on the Housewives and I want my love to look like this, right? That's where the issues are.
Well, that's why I think a lot of relationships crumble. A lot of people back out, leave.
Right.
I'm not loving
I'm
this
looking
person
for this.
proper. I'm not doing this, or I'm looking for this love. Right. I'm looking for what fucking who told you that this and this needed to be in order for you to feel like you are being loved or in love.
Yes, society created an idea of what love is. Love is a feeling. That's my opinion.
I
think love is a feeling. It's not an idea. It's not a construct that's a checklist that society has created to mark off this box, this box, this box. Like I look at some of these Instagram pages that we follow, which are great pages, and they show all about love and all this stuff, and I'm like, this is great, but I know their relationship isn't. This is for the gram,
right?
As soon as that camera turns off, she might be like, "Yo, nigga, you didn't look at the camera right." Like, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
That is the prop. That's all we see now. That is like our reality. Even reality TV, you see all these people. I'm in love. and then the next thing you know, they're not together anymore, and it's like, wait a minute, where did that love go?
Right.
Where did all this? It's a business. It's a business, but it's
a movie prop.
Valentine's Day.
It's damaging, and it's kind of
supposed to be love day,
skewed
but
everybody's perception of what love is. Like you said, it's a feeling. It's about mutual respect. It's about give and take. It's about genuinely wanting the best for that person, and being willing to work to stay together. Got to put in work.
Amen to that.
In and out of the bed.
Amen. In and out.
Well, this was a great episode, you guys.
Excellent episode.
I think we definitely touched on it. Right. Because I know I've listened to other podcasts and people try to talk about love, and it's very foo-foo. It's very like, and it's like, no, let's really get to the nitty-gritty of like just the brutal, honest truth of what the world looks at as what
that's the only way to do it, man.
Well, it's people
it
like those
and honest
podcasts and those Instagram pages that give love a bad rap, because it's like, what's wrong with me? My love isn't like that. They aren't even in love.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a scripted show, and that's not love.
Right. Maybe that's how it's going to be now. I mean, we have people getting married the first second they meet each other on TV now. So what the fuck is love anymore? I don't think it is anything. All right.
Truly Unruly, Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. If you like what you're seeing, you like what you're listening to, of course, like and subscribe to the podcast. Of course, follow Marcus_Trufant on IG. You can follow Jessica_Trufant. Of course, follow the page. Truly Unruly _podcast. Of course, check us out every Sunday on the Converge Network. If you want to catch the visual, subscribe to Marcus Trufant on YouTube. And I think that's everything. Yeah,
that's it. You got it, brother.
All right, man. Well, till next week, y'all. Peace and love.